These three discs look almost exactly the same, but they fly completely different. Here's why. These discs are made by a company called PROTOFLYTE. And as you can see on the side of the box, they are CNC machined golf discs. And if you've watched anyone like Trash Panda or there's a few other people who have talked about how discs are made. So watch those videos if you want like a more in-depth review of how discs are made. But basically, to sum it up, is most discs are made by an injection mold. So there's a little kind of, people call it a nipple or like an injection point there on the bottom of the disc. And basically pressure is pushing plastic into a mold and it expands out towards the rim and basically makes the whole disc. It's a hot process, so the disc needs to cool at the end of that process. And the way that cooling makes a huge difference is dome. So as the disc cools, it kind of contracts down on itself, and depending on the thickness of the flight plate, you get more or less dome, and I think there's a lot of other factors into that, but basically that's kind of the overall way that most discs are made. These are CNC machined, just like I said. So they come from injection molded discs, but the disc they start with is a very big version. So it's like a 250 gram or something. It's a huge disc, basically an XXL disc, that then they take a CNC machine and grind it down to this very smooth texture, honestly. Feels great, super high quality plastic, but they grind it down so it doesn't have that cooling effect. They get the disc already cooled, and so then they can easily control the way the disc is made. And by having full control over the way that these discs are made, they can have three discs that, you know, look almost exactly the same and have completely different flights. So these are the three different versions of the CNC, which is their main driver. It's the main disc that they've actually made. They've since kind of came out with a fairway driver that I got to feel at Disc South, but I haven't actually got to throw it at all. These are the plus, the standard, and the minus version of the same distance driver. And so basically all they did is from the regular to get to the plus, basically they just took this parting line, this edge, the nose of the disc, and moved it upward, which then forces less air over the top of the disc, which makes it more overstable. And exactly the opposite from the regular to the minus, they basically take the parting line and move it down a little bit, and they get a little bit more understable flight because more air is getting pushed over the nose, pushing it down and making it turn. So this is super interesting because you get full control over the discs. You get a much cheaper molding process because injection molds are very expensive, in the tens of thousands of dollars. So you can prototype discs and basically give yourself a ton of freedom. But what I'm super curious about is how they fly. So I'm gonna try to throw these on all the same kind of flat angle, pretty stock power, and we'll see how they fly. But before we do that, there's a small chance that I'll be able to design my own disc with PROTOFLYTE. So I'll be able to make it exactly how I want, the feel, the flight, everything, to a T what I want. So give me some suggestions down in the comments of what you'd like to see or what your dream disc is if you could make one. First, I'm gonna throw just the regular CNC. Now I'm gonna go with the minus. Should see a little bit more turn out of this one. And then finally, I'm gonna throw the plus, which we should see a pretty solid fade off to the left. Overall, I love the flight. I love the concept of being able to have an understable, a straight, and an overstable of the same feeling disc. I mean, in the hand, these things feel exactly the same. No difference whatsoever. So that's super beneficial to be able to have that. The only thing I'm concerned about is I throw a modified fan grip. So I keep my pinky and my pointer finger tucked. And on my pointer finger, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I like to have this crease of my finger, you can see it's kind of torn up there, but this crease in my finger right on the bottom edge of the disc. And with these, it's for like aerodynamic consistency is what the guys over at PROTOFLYTE told me, but this is kind of rounded here. So as opposed to most discs, like this is a destroyer and it comes to like a pretty sharp edge right here, and it feels really nice in the hand because I just lock my finger in there and it gives me a really good grip. These are obviously a little bit more rounded, so I just don't quite feel the same confidence in the hand feel. I love that the grip is the same across the board, across the 3 different flights, and this is maybe something that could be changed or modified for me, but if I was to throw this in tournament play, I think I would like to see a little bit more of an angle, sharp edge there. But these are super interesting. I think these are completely the future of disc golf and disc golf design. I think it gives you so much freedom to design exactly what you want at a very low cost. Shout out to PROTOFLYTE for sending me these out. Let me know down in the comments if you have any disc designs that you think I would like or that you guys would like that you want me to work on and try to release, because I definitely love to do something with these guys. This stuff is so cool, and all the stuff for them will be linked down in the description. Be sure to follow me and you'll see plenty more, hopefully a design series coming from these guys very shortly. But thanks guys, like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.